Welcome to this video on using the Rooms section in a quote template. In this video, I'll show you how to use the Rooms section to estimate room renovations, fitting out tasks, plumbing and electrics. Before watching this video, we recommend that you first familiarise yourself with estimating in a quote template using one of the relevant Getting Started videos. You can add rooms to any type of job template, using either the standard job template or custom job template option. For example, you could add rooms to a house, extension or garage you're estimating using a standard job template. I'm going to use the Renovation Template as the basis for my estimate. You can open a Renovation Template by selecting the Quote from Custom Job Template option when you create your estimate. A Renovation Template allows you to estimate a range of renovation tasks without entering the overall building dimensions as you do with a standard job template. As you can see, a renovation template looks slightly different from a standard job template. There are no building dimensions at the top of the window and no standard settings. We're going to focus on the Rooms section of the quote template in this video. Let's find the Rooms section of the quote template using the Jump to Section drop-down box. Click on the drop-down box at the top of the screen and click Rooms. The Rooms section allows you to estimate parts of the job where room dimensions are required. For example, decoration, renovation, flooring and wall tiling can all be estimated in the Rooms section. You can also use rooms as a way of mentally separating out the tasks you need to do for each room within a job, so that you can ensure you've allowed for all the components required within the estimate. Select a room shape from the drop-down box. There are rectangular, L-shape and irregular configurations, with flat or vaulted ceiling options. I'm going to select a standard rectangular room with flat ceiling. Next, select a room description from the drop-down box. If the description you want isn't in the list, simply type it into the input box. Click Select, and the Room Editor window opens up. Now enter the dimensions of the room. In this example, the length is 4 meters. Remember, you can press the Tab key on your keyboard to move between the input boxes. The width of the room is 3.2 meters, and the height of the walls is 2.4 meters. Now let's tell the Room Editor about any existing openings in the room. Click Add Existing Opening. I've got an internal door which is approximately 1.95 meters high by 0.9 meters wide. You can enter the dimensions of the reveal depth if relevant. Finally, select the opening type. In this case, internal door is correct. I also need to add a window. As before, enter the height, the width, and the reveal depth. This time I need to select Window from the drop-down box. Once you're done, click OK. If you're inserting a new opening into the room, first estimate the door, window or structural opening in the relevant section of the quote template, then use the Link Estimated Opening button to associate that opening with this room. Once the Room Editor knows about all the openings in the room, it can accurately calculate the area of the walls, the ceiling and the floor in order to estimate renovation, plumbing and fitting out tasks. Let's say we want to estimate the cost of replastering and decorating the room. We can do that using the internal renovation estimating calculator. Underneath where it says Room Estimated Items, click Add Estimating Calculators. This brings up the list of all the estimating calculators you can use to estimate elements for this room. It's quite a long list, so you might want to use the search box. Type in your search term, so in this case internal renovation, and then press the Enter key on your keyboard or click the search button. Locate the internal renovation estimating calculator, and on the right hand side you'll see a description of the estimating calculator and some tips on how to use it. Click Select to add it to the room, and then select the template you want to use. Select the template which most closely matches the tasks you need to carry out. I'm going to select the top option to hack all the walls, replaster, skirt and decorate. The Dimensions wizard for the internal renovation estimating calculator then opens up. As you can see, the dimensions we've entered have been used to calculate the total wall length, and the wall height has also been taken from the room editor. Many of the yes/no estimating options are linked to the internal renovation template you selected. So in this example, the option to hack the plaster from walls is set to yes, as we chose a template which included hacking the plaster. Review all of the dimensions and estimating options, making any changes as necessary. For your estimating purposes, you'll soon find that you don't need to check every detail. On the next page, you'll see that the internal door information has been fed through from the room editor. Review the estimating options, then click through the next few pages to check the window, external door and structural opening details, and ceiling details. Once you get to the end of the Dimensions wizard, click Finish. Scrolling down, you'll see that the internal renovation estimating calculator has been added to the room editor. You can go back into the Dimensions wizard to check and change any of the options by clicking the Dimensions wizard button. A quick note on plastering and decoration. If you have the Allow for Plastering and Allow for Decoration options ticked on the main quote template screen, plastering and decoration to any new walls will automatically be included in the estimate. You only need to estimate plastering and decoration in the rooms section if you are doing these tasks in isolation. In other words, if you need to estimate the plastering and decoration of walls which already exist or are being constructed by someone else. If you would prefer to estimate the plastering and/or decoration on a room-by-room basis using the Rooms section, first ensure the Allow for Plastering and Allow for Decoration options on the main quote template screen are unticked. Let's add some fitting out items to the room. Click Add Estimating Calculators once again. In the search box, I'm going to type tiling. Press the Enter key or click the search button. I'm going to select both the ceramic floor tiling and the ceramic wall tiling estimating calculators. Notice that you can add multiple estimating calculators to the room in one go. Scrolling down the window, you'll see the estimating calculators have been added at the bottom of the screen. Click the Add Worksheet button adjacent to the estimating calculator you want to work on. The dimensions of the floor have been taken from the room editor, so all we need to do is update the cost per square metre for our ceramic tiles. I'm going to change this to £25 per square metre. Check you're happy with the remaining details and then click Finish. Now let's review the ceramic wall tiling. This time we need to select a template. I'm going to select the typical bath tiled on 3 sides template. Review the Dimensions wizard. You'll need to review the height of tiling, the length of the tiling, and you can also add an extra area of tiling if required. Check the number of days you're going to require a tile cutter, and on the next page, check the length and depth of any border tiles and the number of decorative tiles. If you don't need any, simply zero them out. Finally, check the length of trims and sealant, and then click Finish. So now you can see we've added the ceramic floor tiling and an area of wall tiling to the room. You can review the dimensions for these tasks at any point by clicking the adjacent Dimensions wizard button. You can also review the resources being used in the estimate by clicking the Resources wizard, the icon with a folder and cog. Click on an item, and on the right hand side you can see the material specified, the estimated quantity, the individual item cost, and the total cost including wastage. Using the drop-down box at the bottom of the screen, you can also review any labour, plant, subcontract and sundry items associated with this task. You can hover your cursor over the different items to see the specified resource. So we've got a ceramic tiler to fix the tiles, the borders and the decorative tiles, and we've got a tile cutter to help us with the job. Click Close to return to the Rooms editor. Now let's add some plumbing items to the estimate. Click the Add Group of Plumbing Items button. Click on the Bathroom and Cloaks tab and select the type of bathroom you need to install. In this example, I'm going to use the 3-piece with shower connected to internal soil pipe feed in floor option. The quantity is set to 1 by default, but if you had 2 bathrooms of the same specification, you could enter 2 here. Confirm the room size, which again has been calculated from the dimensions you entered into the room editor, and then click OK. Scroll down the window to see all of the items which have been added to the room. As you can see, the room editor has estimated the bathroom suite, the radiator, and all of the associated pipes and fittings. If you click the Dimensions Wizard button adjacent to the 3-piece suite, you can review the price allowances for the sanitary ware. By default, the prices are very much budget prices. Update any costs as necessary. Remembering you can use the Tab key to move quickly between the input boxes. On the next page, review the time allowed to install the sanitary ware and wastes, and finally the bath panel. Once you're happy that all of the figures are accurate, click Finish. If you want to review the costs and quantities of any of these elements, you can do so by clicking on the relevant Estimating Calculator button. From the Dimensions tab, you can review the price allowances you've just entered and the time allowed to complete each of the tasks. If you click on the Calculated Resources tab, you can review a detailed breakdown of the quantities and costs of all of the resources involved in this estimating calculator. So in addition to the main bathroom components, we can see the labour allowed and all of the additional materials required. Once you've finished reviewing the estimating calculator, click the Close Estimating Calculator button. Finally, let's add the electrics for the bathroom. To add electrical components to a room, click the Add Group of Electrical Items button. The bathroom option has automatically been selected based on the room description I chose when I added the room. As is the case when you're adding a group of plumbing items, you can change the quantity of rooms here if required. Once you've selected the room type, a group of pre-selected electrical items will automatically be added to the room. You can change the quantities of each component, delete them using the Delete button, or add in any extra items you require. For example, to add a light switch outside the bathroom, click the Add Worksheet button in the Internal Lighting section. Here I can select a single light switch and add it to the estimate. Once I've added a new component, I can change the quantity or delete it using the same buttons. Take care when estimating plumbing and electrics to ensure you don't allow for these items twice. You can estimate plumbing and electrics within a room, as we're doing here, or within the main quote template screen, but make sure you don't do it twice. Once you've finished estimating all of the items for your room, click Close to return to the main quote template screen. Here you can see the bathroom has been added to the quote template. You can go back into the room to review and edit the tasks you've estimated at any time by clicking the Edit button. Of course, you can add as many rooms as you need in your estimate by selecting another room configuration from the drop-down box. So that's your introduction to the Rooms section. Give it a go. Add rooms to your quote template to price up tasks including renovation, fitting out, plumbing and electrics, and see how much time you can save.